Hi, my name is Sam Tetlow, and I'm the chairman and president at PrimeNeuro. Very excited today to walk you through our story and share with you a very compelling diagnostic platform that we have licensed from the University of North Carolina. So PrimeNeuro was founded in 2018, and we are pursuing a crucial problem that is growing in this country and indeed worldwide at an alarming rate. So autism, and indeed the autism spectrum disorder, is growing at 15% per year, which is among the fastest of diagnostics in disease areas on any scale. Today, 1 out of 54 children are diagnosed with the disease when the current standard of diagnostics is capable, which is quite late in a child's life. Unfortunately, as the CDC has noted recently, that age of diagnosis of an autism spectrum disorder has not gotten any younger. And this disease is an element that early very much matters for diagnosis. The brain is developing, and a child's trajectory in their life can be changed dramatically with an early diagnosis and an early intervention. So early matters in this disease in ways that it doesn't matter in other diseases for a long-term trajectory of someone's life. There are effective interventions that are available from as early as 6 months to 3 years of age. But today, there really is not a optimized standard of care at that very young age. Clearly, specific care is needed for each child. This is not a standard diagnosis and evaluation that can occur for many children's lives, but rather a platform that is needed to be specific to that child, and then an intervention that is tailored to that individual infant and child that can effectively determine their beneficial outcome. So the essential question then is it possible to predict at 6 months of age whether this individual high-risk infant will end up on the autism spectrum? And the answer through PrimeNeuro is clearly yes. This is data presented through a longitudinal clinical study held at the University of North Carolina, Washington University, and other clinical sites across the country. And you can see here in 2 published papers that use 2 individualized biomarkers that we're having a very effective positive predictive value and negative predictive value in each of these 2 biomarkers that you see here represented in each of the 2 rows. This data results were using the academics that created the original platform, and then as the study followed longitudinally these infants as they grew up, evaluated with the current standard a clinical diagnosis of autism or not, and then compared that to the original prediction. And that's how we get these predictive results that you see here. Very high performing in their metrics. To pursue and commercialize this technology into the marketplace, we have a 3-step approach that we are already making traction on in engaging with collaborators in the first step as a research tool. That is a relatively small but attractive market. It gets us revenue early and also validates the technology with thought leaders that can then take us to step 2 and step 3. Step 2 is an FDA approved basis for the technology in high-risk infants, which is where the technology was developed for and for those specific infant types in the previous study. And then step 3 is an FDA approved product or diagnostic for all high-risk and low-risk infants. We are pursuing patent protection that was started while the technology sat at UNC. And importantly, we have validation from independent peer review feedback and indeed funding from the National Institute of Mental Health that we'll talk about here in a moment, but very much a positive evaluation in a merit-based review from peers in the space. The technology is being pursued by a top-flight team. Brad and I have worked together really since the beginning of PrimeNeuro. I have a successful track record of taking multiple companies out of UNC and realizing success with them. Brad is a successful serial entrepreneur and was indeed part of the Bioptogen team that was eventually sold to Leica. You can see here a summary of the team, but definitely a deeper individuals that hold advanced degrees to a great majority of those folks. PrimeNeuro Advisors run the waterfront of individuals from the National Institute of Mental Health, a Carolina alma mater, from Don Rose all the way through to Joe Piven, who is part of the team at Carolina. We are raising $2 million. This new equity round is our first formal dilutive funding that the company is pursuing. We have a significant commitment from the National Institutes of Mental Health with a $2.2 million phase 2 that followed a successful phase 1 of just over $350,000. We also received a supplement from the National Institute of Mental Health of just under $1 million. So to date, we've gotten $3.5 million of non-dilutive funding, of which $2.2 million remains. So what we're looking at is a significant level of runway to advance the commercialization of the platform, and then additionally raising equity to really gain customer traction and round out some of the technology development that's needed that the grants are not currently paying for. So we're excited about the company. We hope you'll be in touch with us and appreciate your interest. Thanks very much.